Hello, my name is Dr. Nathan Peterson, and today we're going to be discussing chemical health. Now, again, if you have not listened to the first set of slides, which is on subluxations, please do that first because this will make a lot more sense for you. If you have already done that, please enjoy the following. So, what do we mean when we say chemical health? And what is chemical exposure? Chemical health is how your body reacts to the numerous chemicals it interacts with every day. And specifically, you can come into contact with these chemicals. We call this a chemical exposure. Although some chemical exposures are safe, others are not. For you to become sick, a certain amount of harmful chemicals must enter your body. Harmful chemicals can get into your body if you breathe, eat, or drink them, or if they are absorbed into your skin. Now, we're talking about subluxations, and how can chemical stress or chemical problems cause a subluxation? Chemicals enter our body every day. Certain chemicals contribute to increase in pain, stress, cause low energy, weight gain, or many other issues. There are many ways in which our bodies are invaded by these chemicals. Once invaded by these harmful chemicals, they can wreak havoc on all the major organ systems in your body, such as your respiratory, nervous, reproductive, or immune systems. Why are we so worried about chemical stress? Chemical stress is becoming a much more common problem in the modern world than it was before. If you overuse recreational but toxic substances like nicotine, caffeine, alcohol, or even sugar, the stress in the body can cause shifts in the alignment in the other two of the triad, which, as we've discussed, is physical stress and emotional stress. Also, environmental toxins like allergens, food additives, pollution can all affect you profoundly. How do these chemicals enter my body and how should I avoid them? So we're going to break it down into different ways that your body is bombarded by these different types of chemical influences. So first off, what most people think of when they think of chemicals is that they enter through the mouth. Food and drink is a good example, and many foods and drinks have additives, food coloring, unnatural flavors, preservatives, artificial sugars. A good example is to think of that pink slime that McDonald's uses to make chicken nuggets. Now, one thing we are going to discuss slightly about, and not to scare you, but your water has some chemicals in it. Now, we drink water that contains chlorine, excessive fluoride, pesticides, and herbicides that are through runoffs. Now, these are at such minute levels that we're not as concerned about it, but it is something that I would like to bring to people's attention. That when we think of water, we think of, it's 100% good for you. There are some chemicals in it that could cause some agitation. Now, of course, my suggestion is to drink water over anything else, such as juice, or soda, or pop, alcohol. Any of those things are much worse for you. But know that even when consuming water, you're not simply consuming H2O. There are some other chemicals that could influence and cause stress within your body. Now, drugs, whether pushed or prescribed, all drugs can be toxic and have a chemical effect on your body. Moving on, another way that chemicals enter your body is through your nose. More specifically, breathing in through your nose or your mouth. Now, a big one that affects our whole society is pollution, both indoor and outdoor. Indoor air pollution is found to be 25 to 62% worse than the outside air quality. So, this means that if you're sitting inside right now listening to this lecture, that the air that you're breathing in is much worse than the air that's outside. Let's talk about fumes. Many things give off chemical fumes that can be harmful to the body. A good example, not just cars or power plants that give off fumes, but things in your everyday life give off the fumes that you breathe in, such as dishwasher detergent, air fresheners, spray cleaners such as Windex, deodorizers, bug sprays, chlorine in pools, and humidifiers. So that's why I caution everyone who's listening to be cautious of what you breathe in and where. One thing that I like to do is use this website called thestateoftheair.org. Now, what you can do is you can type in your zip code and your state, and it will give you an air quality reading. So here in the Denver area, the air quality reads at about a C. the Front Range keeps some of the pollution down here in this little valley as opposed to, dispersing it. Other places, such as China, would easily get an F. And other certain places with very cold, dry air, such as my home country of Minnesota, has an A rating, but that's only because the air quality during the winter pretty much kills most adjutants in the air. I would highly recommend that you check out this website. You can check out to the specific zip code. So, do northern Colorado, I know that the mountains tend to have much cleaner air quality as well. Let's talk about how chemicals enter your skin. So, toxic chemicals are hiding in many unnatural cosmetics, lotions, and sunscreens. I've compiled some of the most important chemicals to avoid that are the most likely to cause adjutants and tend to be in the most common products. So, the first one we're going to talk about is sodium lyl sulfate. Now, remember that. SLS. It's found in many soaps, cleansers, moisturizers, shampoos, toothpaste, and anti-aging creams. This chemical can cause lung cancer and throat cancer. Another good one that we like to talk about, and that is in a lot of different makeup products, is called triethylamine, found in moisturizers, mascaras, styling gel, and tanning oil. This is a carcinogenic toxin that causes respiratory and skin issues. And I'd highly recommend that you check out your makeup formulas, the ingredients in them, and see if it contains this. Another major one that's found in lots of different things is called glycerin. Now, glycerin is very commonly found in facial cleansers, conditioners, body soaps, hand soaps, bubble baths, bath oils, and aftershave. Now, this chemical can cause hemolysis, hemoglobinuria, and renal failure. Now, hemolysis means that your red blood cells simply fall apart. Hemoglobinuria means that you actually have blood in your urine, and renal failure is kidney failure. The other one I'd like to talk about is called parabens. Now, these are found in most deodorants, antiperspirants, and moisturizers, which most people use on a daily basis. Other names for this include methylparaben, propylparaben, butylparaben, and ethylparaben. So pretty much anything that includes the word paraben in it. This chemical extends shelf life, which is good, but it can lead to impaired immune system and decrease in hormonal response. All bad things. So I highly recommend you check out the chemicals or the makeup that you use every single day, the moisturizers, the shampoos, and you see if they contain any of these major chemical irritants, because they could be affecting you every single day, causing more chemical stress. Now we're going to move on to how can you reduce the chemical stress in your life. I know I've scared you by telling you it gets in through your nose, your skin, and through your mouth, but how can you reduce the influence of chemical stress in your life? One of the big important things is to be mindful of what goes into your mouth. Okay? Rule number 1, if nature made it, you can eat it. If man made it, you might want to avoid it. If you eat something unhealthy, give your body time to detoxify before you do it again. Do not eat junk food regularly. Now I understand, everyone deserves a little treat. Maybe you love Twinkies, right? Obviously nature did not make Twinkies, man did. And I wouldn't recommend you eating Twinkies every single day. But rationing and rewarding yourselves once in a while can be okay. Now, as I said, after you eat that Twinkie, give yourself some time to detoxify. Get rid of those chemicals that you just ingested before you eat that Twinkie again. Another thing that a lot of people don't do is read labels. If you can't pronounce it, I recommend you don't eat it. The more you read labels, the more aware of what's in your food. Another thing that you should try to do is to eliminate what I call false foods. These are foods that contain harmful ingredients such as chemical additives, white refined sugar, and white flour, high fructose corn syrup, and hydrogenated oils. All these things, though they might extend shelf life or bring some more sweetness into whatever junk food you're eating, these are bad things for you and they can cause a chemical irritant. So read those labels. Know what you're putting in your body before you actually put it in there, because it could have a negative chemical response. Also, try to eat more organic and natural foods. Now, going more into specifics of what to eat and how to avoid chemical stress, you need to eat more anti-inflammatory foods. Now, what does that mean? What's an anti-inflammatory food? Well, most of them are plant-based, which means having a plant-based diet can actually be very good for you. So too much grease, preservatives, refined flour and sugar, as well as meat with many probiotics in it, can cause an increase in inflammation in your body. Most Americans have a high percentage of inflammation in them. This increase in inflammation can lead to musculoskeletal pain, cardiovascular disease, increase in blood pressure, digestive problems, and skin problems. So if all of us constantly have all these inflammatory chemicals inside of us, how can we reduce them? Well, what you can do is you can take action to help reduce them. And what we should do is increase the amount of fruits and veggies we eat. We should shoot for half of our diet should include fruits and veggies. Avoid and reduce red meats, refined flour and sugar, as well as items loaded with salt. The best foods for reducing inflammation include nuts, fish, dark leafy greens, peppers, tomatoes, beets, ginger, and garlic. And as you can see, there's many other things that are included in there, such as green tea and turmeric, avocados, those kind of things. All of these things help to reduce the inflammation that you already have built up in your body, as well as you don't take on extra inflammation when you consume these specific foods. Now, talking about how much we eat can also help to reduce the amount of chemicals you intake. So, what I want you to do is open your hands and place them together. This is the general guideline to how much you should eat for each meal. Make sure a large portion of it is devoted to fruits and veggies. Another suggestion of what can help you consume less than that amount that is equivalent to your hands being opened is to leave the dining table a little hungry and avoid overstuffing yourselves. In America, we live in a land of plenty. Usually, many people are able to eat as much as they want whenever they want. Now, that leads to problems such as obesity and diabetes. We all know this. Overconsumption is a problem. So, an easy way to actually see if you're still hungry or not is to leave the dining room table early, wait 15 minutes, and see if you're full. And if you're not full, then that's a very good time to have a little extra snacks, specifically something maybe anti-inflammatory, such as nuts or avocados. Do not eat while you're distracted, such as watching TV or on a computer. This is the easiest way to overeat. Think about it. When you're watching something on TV, you're so focused on that, and that bag of chips that you have in your lap is gone before the end of the show. So, try to not be distracted while you eat. It's also a good time to focus on the people you're eating with. Talk with them. Have a little family discussion, and you're more likely to then not only focus on what you're eating, but to not overeat at the same time. Another thing that people in America tend not to do is to use supplements. Now, it's difficult to obtain all the required nutrients for our bodies solely from what we eat, especially if we're eating all those Twinkies. You're not getting any kind of nutrients from that. So, over time, as we age, our body loses the ability to absorb certain nutrients. So this can create a deficiency, and over time, a deficiency can lead to disease. Supplements, such as some of the ones that we sell here at Aim High, can help fulfill those needs. Taking a multivitamin every day will be very good for you, and it'll help you maintain that you have the proper chemicals in your body, especially if you're not absorbing them through what you eat. Now, moving on to another one that's very, very important is water. Water, 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 water. Now, I know that earlier I discussed that there are minimal chemicals that exist in your water, but if you were to consume any kind of drink and only that drink for the rest of your life, I would highly recommend that it be water. You know it's important, but how much water should you drink per day? Now, the minimum requirement, or what they suggest, is 8 to 10 cups of water per day. And that's a good start. Now, I would recommend doing it a little bit more. something that I do is, with me, I always carry my favorite water bottle wherever I go. At work, when I go, work out, when I go see friends, I always bring the same water bottle with me. It's an easy reminder that I need to be consuming more water. 8 to 10 cups is great, but I like to do a lot more than that. Maybe 15 to 16 cups per day helps maintain and keep your urinary tract very, very healthy, as well as it gives your body the proper moisture that it needs. Your cells actually decrease the less moisture that they have in your body. So, keeping your body hydrated is very essential. You want to consistently drink water throughout the day. You want to drink enough water to keep your urine clear with just a small tinge of yellow at max. Designate a good water bottle, like I said, or use the water bottle that we gave you as your hydration weapon here at Aim High. And one of the biggest things to do is get rid of soda and pop. Don't drink it anymore. It contains so many terrible chemicals for you that it is not what you need in your body. Instead, opt out for water. If you need a little sweetness to it, juice, some tea would be much, much more natural than the soda that you're consuming. So, the main question we ask at all the end of our lectures, what else can be done to reduce the chemical stress in your body? Well, a very, very good option is to come in for your regular maintenance care. As we discussed before, maintenance care is once you've completed your full treatment plan that the doctor moves you to what we call maintenance care. Maintenance care means 1 to 4 times per month you come in and we adjust you to maintain optimum health. Here at Aim High, we'd like you to make the Aim High chemical health commitment. I would like you to read your food labels and avoid anything that you cannot pronounce. You should eat more anti-inflammatory foods, as I listed earlier. You should drink at least 8 to 10 cups of water per day at the minimum. You should become more aware of what you consume, what you put on your skin, and what you breathe. And last but not least, but you will maintain proper health with your spine by coming in for maintenance care at least 1 to 4 times per month. Thank you very much.